Eagle Nation, what is going on out here? All I see is negativity about a win. When did style points in the playoffs really matter? I have to sage. Gotta sage. You guys are killing me, man. On my Kyrie Irving, I'm walking around the room, and I will sage this bitch to get rid of all your negative energy. All your negative energy, Eagle fans, and all this. And sheesh. Let's talk about it. Welcome, everybody, back for another episode of Victory Mondays. Energy's not to be played with. So once you cleanse, you got to purify with more positive energy. And this is what this show is about. It's going to be about nothing but positive vibes for our Philadelphia Eagles, who just won a playoff game. They just won a playoff game, right? We're going to the next round. It's not Cancun on 3, right? It's not, is Nick Sirianni going to get fired like Mike McCarthy just did? No. Actually, no, that's negative. They mutually parted ways is a better way to say it. There's a mutually parted ways. I'm your host. I'm the CEO. They call me Moss Money. And, of course, I got the GM himself. I don't know what else to say. I got to find something else to say to add to the GM himself. You don't like the owner talk. The GM himself, I'll figure it out. Your homie, my homie, Erine B. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? A lot of negativity surrounding the greater area. I'm not even going to say Philadelphia. I'm going to say the greater Delco County. I mean, this is just bad. Everybody's got this bad taste in their mouth. You know, it's time we put it to rest.
Yes, absolutely. You want to know why? Because we got more football to watch. We have more football to talk about, and we're talking Eagles football,
not Packers football.
Not Packers
football. Their time right now.
Specifically, not Cowboys football.
Of course, not Cowboys football.
But Eagles football. So, as you guys already know, the Eagles had a playoff game this Sunday, and they won 22-10, right? Was it 22-10? 22-10. Yeah, 22-10. Now, I'm going to talk about all the positives of the Eagles game. I will not say a negative thing in this show today about the Philadelphia Eagles. And you know what I'm going to start with? My favorite guy, Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith had himself a day. Now, people have known the things I've said about Nolan Smith over 2 years, right? It's not even just a year, 2 years. But I will take a step back and give the man his flowers because he is one of the main reasons why we won that game. His physicality that he played with was something to be displayed. Like, I didn't know he could be that physical, right? You know,
violence. Remember the word we used, violence.
Violence, right, violence.
He sought violence.
He did. He sought violence, and he delivered violence as well. Now, I don't care if he was unblocked or not blocked. 2 sacks in the playoffs is still 2 sacks in the playoffs. I think it was the stat round was 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 5 pressure. MFer even had the nerve to have a special teams tackle as well. We're getting dorky. I'm not sure how did he good on the set the edge and looking at that, but he was a force. Reason why Bryce Huff only played, I think is it 1 snap?
1 snap.
He played 1 snap because of the way Nolan Smith was playing. So I'll start it off with my big thing. Nolan Smith might have been yours. Sorry, had to take it because people know how I feel about Nolan. But what did you see as one of the top tier positives in that game that you can see them building on for obviously the winner of the game, Vikings versus Rams? That's on right now. I think I saw 10-0 Rams.
Yeah, Rams are up, which is great for the Eagles.
Yes,
we'll get to that. But
yes.
Let's start off with going back to the word that I reiterated earlier in the show and something that I've said. We're coming on, we've been a little dibble dabble with the shows, but consistently I've used the word violent. And I don't mean this to be corny. I don't mean this to be cliche. I mean this to be that is the way this defense plays. And that is why I think this is the best defense the Eagles have had in 20 years. Nolan Smith, though, Oren Burke started it with a forced fumble that somehow went up to debate, but I didn't know that forced fumble broke to debate once it got to the bottom of the pile because one camera angle. If we could pause the scrummish,
the overhead camera angle,
it would go everybody's way.
But it was interesting. They said they don't have that shot. I thought that one of the guys.
No, they did, but the idea is that just because you have, and not to go too far to this, but just because you have a guy holding the ball with possession in a freeze frame doesn't mean anything. Because right before, if you notice, Cooper DeJean's arm is cocked back like he's about to come in there and punch it out. Yeah. Jeremiah Trotter ends up with the football. In my opinion, that's a football play. Some people would call that a rugby style play. It is what it is, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's get to the play where Nolan Smith made an impact. As far as, like you said, not necessarily involved in the highlight. That was injuring the Packers' best offensive lineman on the guard down of football. Elgin Jenkins is arguably the Packers' best offensive lineman. I lean more to Zach Tom, the right tackle. I think he's their best offensive lineman. I mentioned him in the offseason program. But
if I'm nitpicking, not the best technique. If I'm nitpicking, but I won't.
It's not the best, not the best technique, but the fact that you out muscled man to man in playoff football, that's a hats off. I mean, that right there is just. The Eagles were more violent than the Packers in a violent sport. I don't care what people want to say. It is a violent sport, and the Eagles were more violent this Sunday. Now,
also Marnie.
Nolan had the move that I'll argue, and you're going to say it's not that great, but the crisscross. I mean, I'm talking about the fucking AI crossover he had for, I believe, the second sack. The ability to bend that way is why he was a first-round pick. And people are going to, it's a motorcycle lean, as I've heard it referred to as, but the body, the feet are like this, the body's like this, and he somehow doesn't lose speed.
You run the hoop.
The crazy part that Nate is going to explain here in a second why it's so crazy is he ran the hoop, but he changed direction in the blink of an eye. It was run the hoop, but pivot and continue with the same amount of pursuit that you had initially off the snap. That is what made this game special. He's found a way to retain his hyperactivity. And that is why the Packers, I don't know if they just didn't watch Nolan Smith, but I mean, he flat out outplayed anybody they put in front of him. And it's his best game he's had as an Eagle. His best game as a pro.
I agree.
Nolan Smith showed some serious promise this game.
I'm okay. I'm okay with the Nolan Smith love. I'm okay with it.
One game. We're talking about one game, a few reps against a good offensive line, but he did his job.
Yeah, no, I him and Milt was a terror in the middle.
Jalen Carter eat double teams. That's the one I'm curious how you felt about, because man, dude, he just went into him with so much. It was like Jalen, to be such a high profile player, the way he seeks contact. I get he's a defensive lineman, but the way he just loves to eat double teams more than his 6'6", 340, 50, 60 pound counterpart there.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's almost a better nose tackle than Jordan Davis is, just because he's
he is. Yeah, no, he is. Because his hands are so violent. He's so active, and he's got that dangerous quick step that you want from a big guy.
Now, how do you feel about a guy that eats that much room up in the defensive line? Because like you said, Milton, he showed out.
Milton Flash. Milton Flash.
I mean, those two, the two backup defensive linemen who are essentially rotational. Milton's the top guy. Jomo's the second. Now, to correct people, those are not Jordan Davis backups. Those are strictly Jalen Carter backups, who has played most of the snaps this year.
Yeah.
But when they go into that look, if you'll notice on like a zero coverage, Jordan Davis is not on the field. Jordan Davis is only on the field for first down, just to clarify. That's a whole other show for another day. But, Jordan Davis does his job, but what Carter did outside of the stat sheet is why he's second team All-Pro. And I believe the reason he wasn't first team All-Pro is because there's still a couple big names ahead of him that had great years. Cameron Hayward being one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'll probably start calling him All-Pro, Jalen Carter.
APJC.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, I think. Is he the most double team interior defensive lineman in the league? If I'm
I
not
believe he's
top 3 at
if I
least.
remember this correctly, he is the most double team defender in the NFL.
Yeah. And that just
Now,
shows
some
you
of that's by design, so we're not gonna,
that's true. That's
but
true.
he is that dominant of a player. The defense runs through Jalen Carter.
Yes. 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 I would agree with that. So, I think he makes everybody's job easier. That's why you saw Dean being able to flow to the ball really well. When you have a guy who can eat up 2 linemen like that, and he desires that much attention, it just makes the linebacker's job so much easier. It
Zach
gives the
Bond, too.
like Zach Bond. But I thought I honestly, Dean will be back. I'll say it like that. I won't say anything negative. But Dean will be back. But it
Back
just
when?
oh,
Yeah, because this is the thing about Dean. Dean,
he had the foot, he had the ankle, and now it's the patella, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So
and it's bad, man.
yeah, no, he knew it, and he knew it as soon as
He
as
finished
in
the
him.
freaking play. If you notice and go back and watch the play,
Yeah,
he blew the knee and finished the tackle.
yeah,
Like, it wasn't, everybody thought it was the roll up. It wasn't the roll up. He had blown it on the way to the tackle
yeah.
and
He
then
knew it. It
made
was
the
unfortunate.
tackle and then couldn't put his weight on his own leg. He
Yeah,
knew it, man. The
he
dude's
knew
a
it. Yeah,
warrior.
yeah,
He's
he
a
knew it.
warrior. And that is the most underrated storyline of that game, is losing to Kobe Dean for not just the end of this year, but for most of next season.
Next year. Yeah, for next year. Yeah, he'll be out all next year too. Yeah, I agree with that. And it's just unfortunate because I think you were starting to see him kind of come on. I was really skeptical of him.
Breakout, dude, beyond breakout. He's the most underrated linebacker in football. He had like 128 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and a pick. I mean, we had got the best interior linebacker play this year since we had in 2004. The Jeremiah Trotter run is the best run we've had of linebacker play that long. So
yeah, no, I was gonna say that it's kind of like I'm trying to remember the last time we had like Trotter was his thing, but like when we had two standout
Douglas,
linebackers,
but it's not like
who ran with Trotter? That was before. That was after. Was it Emmons? What's his name? Was it 51? I think his name was.
Trotter ran.
He was a Sam linebacker when they ran the 4-3.
Trotter, Douglas, and who else?
I thought his name was like Carlos Emmons or something like that.
Possibly.
And he was decent. He was decent. He wasn't Trotter level because Trotter was the Pro Bowler, but he was decent. But
the year they had Hicks and Bradham in 17 was really good. They were well. Kendricks came in. Kendricks was there as well. Michael Kendricks. They were good, but
not like this. Not like these two.
That's what I'm saying, though. Statistically,
like 200 tackle linebackers.
Well over 100 too.
Yeah, like I'm just like I don't remember that
the entire season. So it's like Bond had a game up on Dean, but Bond's season has been highlighted by the media. Dean's been right there with him the entire time. I mean, that interception he had, I believe, is against Jacksonville.
You're talking about the back of the end zone one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Silly.
That's. I mean, I'm not.
He's a small guy. Like he's not a big dude.
No, not at all. But he plays like a warrior, man.
Yeah.
And he just. This is the things we talk about Jalen Carter and why I think this is a necessary topic to talk about is because this dude is that was the green dot, man. That was the man who pointed everybody in the right direction. So
for sure,
it's a much larger loss to this roster the way we're set up than
absolutely
the media is talking about.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely big loss. And then like you said, because Bond overshadows it because he's the All Pro, he's the 1-year guy. He was the standout at linebacker. He's got the story.
Dean doesn't get the credit that
he deserves.
You go look at that stat line and tell me that's not a top 10 inside linebacker in the NFL. I don't know.
I agree. I agree. And he flashed every once in a while. He flashed and made some. In that game, he was making plays.
He had 2 tackles for loss.
His hits were crazy against a tough runner in Jacobs.
Yeah,
against a tough.
I mean, the only guy that was able to thud him was Nakobe Dean.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
he met
him. Do Josh Jacobs. You don't hit Josh Jacobs. You just thud. That's I mean, the dude is he's a beast. But Dean was our best linebacker.
And speaking of Dean, speaking of Carter, Nolan, speaking of Milt, and the backup Burks, right? Burks, is that his name?
Oren Burks is the
Yeah,
inside linebacker backup.
Burks, who started off the game with
Yep.
the wake up to this arena of spectacle that we call football in that sideline. Physical. That was my big other second takeaway. We played physical football. It was one of the most physical games that I've seen in a while. They were
you guys can
out
say
there.
all you want about Nick Sirianni, but the culture that has been set since 2021, you know, that time.
Really? I didn't even catch that.
They're a violent football team. And, you know, everybody made fun of Sean Desai last year for his opening press conference where he said he wanted the defense to be palpable. Mm-hmm. And it was a big word, you know, it was what it was. But that was the goal of this franchise, was to have a dominant physical defense. They have that at every level. And, you know, Dean is a huge loss. I don't think Oren Burks is anywhere close to as talented as Dean is.
No, it's going to be a fall off for sure.
But, you know, it's going to mean some things when Zach Bond's wearing the green dot. So, you know, that's just if they trusted Burks like some people say they do, he would have got the green dot. He's not going to. It's going to be Bond, and Burks will play the
you got to. Yeah, it's a big fall off. I think in talent wise and what he brings to the team. I didn't really see much of Burks in terms of when he got on the field, in terms of, you know,
like some missed tackles, and Burks is a top tier special teamer / backup linebacker.
Yeah,
top tier veteran special teamer, backup linebacker. That's what he is. Jacoby Dean has a much better feel for the football game than Oren Burks does.
Yeah, and maybe with the reps, Burks gets in the flow, because that's the people don't understand. That's tough, right? You're a special teams guy, and then you switch. The captain of the defense who calls the plays is out. Bond goes to the green dot, and now you have to play both special teams and, you know,
a lot of football.
Yeah, and what people don't really see was a tight game. That was a one-score game for a long time.
Yeah.
It was a one-score game for a long time.
Burks' play to open the game was the only reason they won that game, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
Because they opened the game and they set the tone that way. It was over after that. When they turned the ball over and scored the touchdown, it was over. I mean, that was
right. Absolutely.
The crowd reached a decibel level it would not get below.
Yeah, and everybody stood the whole way. Nobody sat.
That's the thing. It's if you get them going that early, it's
tough.
That's why I preached. You win the 1 seed, you get Detroit in this environment, they will fold. Yeah. Just like everybody that has before them, they will fold. If we can get you in Philly, it's going to be real bad as long as you're not Tampa Bay. But I mean, other than that, you know, it's
they got me when I was watching that. I was like, Tampa, please lose.
Oh, dude, I had never like, Washington so lose. Hard. I was like, come on, Jaden, out there. Now I'm pulling for him again. Let's beat those Lions, dude. Come on, show them you can.
10 right now. 10-3 Rams. Incomplete pass, 4th and 10. Looks like Rams going to punt. It looks like there was a little bit of a hangover from Donald, to start this game. Right now, stat lines for my fantasy game, my fantasy folks. Stafford's 11 for 14, 124 yards and a touch. Gave it to Kyren Williams. Higbee is leading them, 5 catches for 58 yards. Jefferson has 3 catches for 41 yards. Aaron Jones not doing too much in the run game, two rushes for 2 yards. But Darnold's okay, 7 for 7 for 69. A lot of football left in that game. Ton of football in that game. It's only 13:58 in the second quarter. So, I forgot. He said it ain't happening. Don with the Detroit. Don's Detroit through and through, man. I forgot about that.
I'm gonna ask all I ask Detroit is just please God act like you've been here before. We did it before, and I'm sure everybody acted like this to us in 17. But my Christ. Just act like you've been here before, man.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Just to switch gears, and we'll get to the playoffs recap at the end here. I feel like Detroit got better, like in a weird way. Like it's just like offensively, they're more explosive with Gibbs. Like not to give it, and I really feel that Gibbs might be the best running back in the league in like 2 years.
I
Like,
mean, yeah.
like if you give him full, like I didn't know how
he was picked 12th
tough of a
overall
running
for a
back.
reason.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm a big Montgomery fan though. I love Montgomery in Chicago. I always loved Montgomery. I was a big
they
Montgomery
also didn't
fan.
know they were going to get Jahmyr Gibbs. They made it work. I mean,
Yeah.
You're lucky to make it work, but I mean,
he's a walking 2000 scrimmage running back, easy.
If he stays healthy, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Montgomery's just running low on tread because he was ran through the wolves at Iowa State, and with running like that at Iowa State, and then you think
Chicago.
of what you did, in high school, and then Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago ran him. Chicago was a different style when he was there. They weren't.
So, I mean, I just think the thing about Detroit is, it's going to be all right. I mean, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is a good player to talking about the Jacoby Dean injury. I mean,
we'll get back to the Eagles. My bad. I didn't mean to tangent you.
No. I was just saying, do I think Dean could cover Gibbs on a wheel route?
Hell no.
No. But I think he has a much better chance than Oren Burks, and that's your answer. So, injuries might have derailed the Lions season up to this point, but they're getting key guys back at the right time. The Eagles are losing key guys at the wrong time. Yeah. And in 2022, we had a roster full and couldn't even beat the Chiefs. I mean, we got Maddox back at the last second there. We had all 22 starters.
Yeah.
In 17, it was completely different. There was a lot of, injuries and so on and so forth. So we'll see. I mean, I still think that the Philadelphia Eagles are the best roster, top to bottom in the NFL. I think they proved that. I think one of the best things is by putting your third quarterback out there against the Giants starters and beating them they handled that game without a problem.
And it's funny, people were calling for Tanner. I was just like, it was so like the pulse of Eagles Nation.
Whoever gets under center in Philadelphia will have a magnetic effect stronger than anybody can imagine. And McKee's got it.
This is
people want to talk about. They say, "Oh, well, Hurts looked rusty yesterday after not playing football for 3 weeks at the professional level, and then stepping into a playoff game." And they're like,
"And got to win."
Tanner McKee. They said that Tanner McKee looked like an ace.
And got to win, mind you. That's the key.
The key. 113.1, quarterback rating. That's not that bad.
I don't care if it was 40 yards into the beginning of the fourth quarter. Gotta win. That's when it comes to the playoffs. Style points are out the window. I always said there's 3 things that make you go on a playoff run. You need to be able to run the ball, you need to be able to play defense, and you need to be able to win on special teams. The Eagles did that in all 3 phases. All 3 phases is what you saw.
This extra point is being way overanalyzed because he didn't miss a field goal. Now, there was the time where they went for it on 4th and 4, and Goddard got hit with the false start from the early motion. If you saw, they pulled some shit out of their bag. The fake tush push to A.J. Brown where Hurts missed the touchdown pass.
Yeah.
The 4th and 4 where they had Goddard move. They had Goddard move late in motion, and the defense jumped. Now, they didn't get far enough into the neutral zone for anybody to react.
Yeah.
So therefore, it was on the offense, but it was actually the right execution and the right play.
No, it was a bad call, though. It should have been a no call. It wasn't an illegal formation. Goddard never turned up field.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That was the thing. But their argument was from the big ref, the cuck in the booth, was that he had to. The defense, I think it was Enigbare jumped, but Mailata was late to reach. So
I thought it was pretty close.
I thought it was, but I guess technically the rule is that because you're the defensive guy, you can get back. So if you jump and get back without
he never broke the neutral zone. And that was Mailata moved. So I get if they called it on Mailata because
they called it on Goddard for. That was the thing.
They called it legal formation, but I think the right call was called on Mailata because he moved and the guy never jumped over the neutral zone. Like he jumped.
He was late. He jumped, but Mailata hesitated and then reached as soon as Goddard moved. It was just, it's all right. I just don't, I'm not here to argue coaching on that sentiment because, that's not a coaching play. They have not ran. They've had to play. They've had it practice. It's fine.
It was actually a smart play.
It's genius. Just like the
smart
launch to run the fake. Everybody credit the Lions for the fake fall. Hurts, held that ball and stayed as low to the ground as possible before he popped up and launched one to HAB. I'm sorry if he doesn't miss 2-3 weeks of football. He's hitting that pass, no problem. I mean, it really, there it is, Don. I mean, the fake tush push pass was beautiful. That is an awesome design play.
Yeah, I missed it. I was moving around that game too, so daddy did
it was just. But
I gotta go back and check it out.
AJ Brown was wide open, and Jalen missed him, and it was just. It would have. I think it would have been. It was 10-0 at that point. Would have gone 17-0,
mm-hmm.
And it would have were 16-0 because Jake Elliott might have missed.
It might have been game time at that point. The way that.
But it was early. I mean, it was like gas pedal to the floor. It was an awesome play call. I mean, it really was. It's just execution, man.
Yeah. So we talked about first out the gate, Nolan Smith, positive. We talked about second out the gate, Jalen Carter, which was huge, positive. We talked about the impact in Nakobe Dean, positive.
Well, negative, but
you talked about it.
The positive impact
but what he did on the field before he got hurt,
yes,
all positive vibes. Trying to think. We talked about Milton Williams, gave a little bit of love to the defensive line. I'm trying to think. We talked about the physicality. The physicality of the team was also a positive. Another thing that I think was going on that people maybe not have noticed, but I noticed a little bit of Jalen Hurts stepping up for Saquon, right? When Saquon got kind of thrown, and who stepped up? Right, Jalen Hurts in front of that 6'5", 6'6", 200. I'm sorry, that would be giving him credit. 340-pound defensive lineman. Right now, what words were? What word?
What do you think? Hey, bro, excuse me, dog. Don't do that, man. Hey,
no,
that ain't fly, man. That ain't fly, man.
Yeah, let me think about that. What? That's a good question. What did Jalen say? What did Jalen Hurts say?
That ain't cool, bro.
You know what I mean?
Cool, man. The statement is the statement. That move was not your statement. Don't let that be your final answer to the test.
I don't know. No, you know what? I feel like Jalen curses because I remember when Jalen
He's from the South, dude. I've heard him talk.
Jalen and Kelsey had that conversation when Kelsey was making his first transition into broadcasting. And he was like, "Yeah, I gotta be even. I can't." And Jalen's like, "Man, fuck that." And he's like, "Yeah, you're right." So I'm gonna say he probably said it smooth, but yo, take your fat ass over there, man.
Yeah, before every press conference. Hey, yo. Y'all think God loves you like God loves God? But the crazy thing is, I never even knew it because I was out there playing football. Because winning is the main thing, and the main thing is the main thing.
Right.
Excuse me, man. Don't touch my running back.
My man Don with the updates. Maybe I should I put the game cast on? We know we can't show the show. Maybe I'll pop the game cast on. It looked like a lot of action happening.
Oh goodness. I'm trying to find where the Darnold seems to be getting manhandled a little bit.
Yeah, I'll bring up the game cast. Appreciate you, Don, with the updates. But let me bring it up.
Jesus, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold back to earth.
Bad. It was bad.
I mean, it's just holding on to the ball too long and telegraphing your passes like that.
Yeah, I hear you. We'll do the real live. I mean, I could turn it on and watch it, but they'll take it down, obviously. If I actually broadcast the actual show. Damn, what's this? Defensive touchdown waved off after review.
That's all.
Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, that should be a touchdown.
That's the Chargers.
No. That's the Rams. That's this game. Let's look at it. Hold on.
We ain't talk about it. I'll be right back.
All right, yeah. This motherfucker. Yo, Don. This guy always takes the piss during the show.
Darnold slings it, and he's picked. Rams ball.
Rams ball.
Up 7.
All right, we got that one. So I want to see this, the fumble. Let's look at this real quick.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance.
Turn that volume down. Yeah, down, you always taking a piss. He by yo, Nate, you know what's about to happen. So he looks at the camera, Nate, you know what's about to happen, my dog.
That's because we stay hydrated.
Hold me down.
The main thing.
Hold me down, my dog. Hold me down.
Hold me down real quick.
Yo, that's a fumble. Get the fuck out of here. That's a home call. They got a home call on that one. That's a fumble. Oh, that's tough.
Oh, that's funny as shit. Well, I mean, you can't have your head wrapped around somebody's neck anyway.
Yeah,
so.
but that's Stafford being crafty. All right, I mean, I give it to
you. That's your boy. I love him, but that's your boy. Don't even.
That's Stafford being crafty. You look at him. He's throwing it away. Let's go back. That's Stafford being real crafty. Look at him. That's almost like, yeah. All right, good call. Good call.
And you know Stafford's answer is going to be like, how am I supposed to throw the ball when he's got my head wrapped around like that? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, Stafford being crafty, not a bad call.
I got one thing I wanted to ask you while we were on live.
Oh no, we're here to help. We're here to help, Don.
So, as Eagles fans,
okay,
and I'm asking from the public here, and this is, these are not eyes from the GM. These are the GM's Overwatch questions. The bird's eye view, what I really see going on down there.
Okay. We
harp on 2022 because we got to the Super Bowl and it was a success. 70 sacks from a defense. I've argued this with you before. I 100% think this defense is better. Like we noted, we touched on it earlier, but I think this defense is so fucking good, dude. Like,
it's because the secondary is so much better.
I think it comes down to linebacker play. I
that
think
too.
The secondary,
the back seven is just so much better.
Bond's interception was off of I can't remember the term in the Fangio defense, but it's like whip coverage, right? Like he was the rail defender on the side and had freedom to read the quarterback's eyes. Remember we talked about the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson pick weeks ago about in the Dallas game where he was able to be the free eye defender and become just broken. So if the routes go a certain way, if the underneath and the over top route end up a certain way, well, then it happens. And Bond was able to read, diagnose, react. He did all four things perfectly. That interception was part of the All-Pro highlight tape, in my opinion, just because of how the structure of the defense was at the time. They let up a season-low total 4,732 yards.
So the end story is what you're asking, is this defense better defense than that 2017 70 sack defense?
I think it's the best defense in Lurie's ownership. So we go back to 99. 25 years. Is this the best defense we've seen on paper? On field.
Super Bowl year, they were tops in like takeaways, right? For whatever reason, right?
In 2022 or 17?
No. Like when we won the Super Bowl, I thought they were like
they were up there with turnovers. Schwartz's defense was
bend don't break.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, they still let up 33 points in that Super Bowl. Tom Brady threw for 500 yards.
He's a unicorn, though, man. It's Tom.
Boy, I know that, but I mean, it was
nobody else is doing that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, once every million years, just
right. Like it's Tom.
Find a way to beat Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Like it is what it is. I mean,
did he throw a pick? He didn't throw a pick in that game, did he? Was it clean? 500 yards? I don't remember.
No, I don't think he threw a pick.
Just the forced fumble, right? Just the one. Yeah, that's right. Because it was the only turnover. It was the only turnover in the game. Was the forced
They were
fumble.
Second in the league. No, hold on. There were 6 in the league in total turnovers. Minnesota and Pittsburgh tied with 33. Buffalo Bills had 32. Packers 31. Texans 29. Eagles 26. I mean, that's pretty damn good, dude. The interceptions were low. Now, mind you, on the interceptions, the Eagles did not have a cornerback with an interception all regular season. They had 2 yesterday, Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell.
Shout out to Quinyon. Hey, what do you? Hey,
I don't even. My body doesn't that way.
you know, shout out to Quinyon.
Quinyon,
Getting his first pick.
if you noticed, he had much better run fits this game.
Yeah, he
Quinyon,
was locked in.
he seemed like he got involved in the run
He
game.
was locked in. Any pat he was you know what I saw from him, and that's another great positive. He was fucking sticky. Like as soon as somebody caught a ball, he was on it. Now he gave up that long pass that got called back on a penalty, right? But he was anything short, he was sticky, man. He was all over anybody.
Hughes' biggest problem, and this was the transition from playing at Toledo and then going into the NFL, was the ability of that you're the best athlete on the field every snap.
I get
and
that.
being able to let a guy kind of do his thing. I think Hughes' biggest problem right now is he sees a guy that's maybe a wide receiver 5, wide receiver 4, wide receiver 6, and he's not quite giving that guy the respect that guy deserves at the NFL level, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think Hughes being consistently humbled. Now, how he's handling those humblings is incredible. And I think that Darius Slay is a big proponent of that. But
big play Slay with a big play.
An incredible play. And then, mind you, like I told you, he's on his Jason Peters, forgetful tour or whatever, Hall of Fame tour, because he wants to go out and miss about 4 snaps because his little elbow got banged up. Then he goes to the locker room, pops a couple perks, and then comes back out.
Well, tell Detroit to hop on in. The game is ass. We talking a lot of shit in here.
There's more ass in here, I can promise. No Diddy. Nah, but listen, I got a question about you.
That's so crazy. You got to say no Diddy.
Because I really don't think Quinyon Mitchell is on pack. Oh, first of all, let me just brush this over. Your boy Sauce, my boy might win Defensive Player of the Year. So that take is going to go down in frozen cold takes.
Who's going to win Defensive Player of the Year?
Patrick Surtain, buddy.
Oh,
he's
Surtain.
The leader right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's going to win.
And I made an argument about how he was far and wide the best corner
in
football.
You did.
There's somebody that argued it.
He showed up. Even though what's his first name? I know it's Samuel. He was on Washington.
Curtis Samuel for the Bills.
Yeah. He kind of made him look a little silly, but it's okay. Samuel got some wheels. Samuel's no slouch. He's no slouch.
Every play. They don't win.
He's no slouch. He's no slouch.
But PS2, hands down, best corner in football.
Yes, he should. He definitely should win Defensive Player of the Year. He's well deserving of it.
I don't want Eagles fans to think that his ceiling is Patrick Surtain because they're not the same player.
They're not.
He is, and this name is who this player has taken a liking to him, and I think their games are very similar. Richard Sherman. I think the ceiling for Quinyon, if he wants to be anything up.
Do you think it was Richard, or do you think it was a scheme in Seattle?
Both.
Because when he went to San Fran, he was okay. He wasn't rich.
He was also like 31, 32.
Yeah, he was past his prime.
He was way past his prime.
Yeah, he's way past his prime.
Far past when he should. Whereas like Revis went to the Pats and then he was just kind of out of the league. Like,
did he get a ring? Revis got a ring with the Pats, right?
I believe he got one.
I think he got one.
He got one, or he was a part of the team that should have had one. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, I think he got one. I think Revis got one with the Pats. I do remember him going to the Pats.
But corners do that, man. They corners don't want to throw.
Yeah, I don't see the Richard. I don't see that.
There's a couple things that I'm going to note to you. They both play on one side of the football field.
Okay.
By design.
But then Revis, I feel like I feel more Revis.
Revis did not. Revis followed receivers.
Okay.
Richard Sherman does not follow. Quinyon Mitchell will not follow, at least this year. Now, Quinyon Mitchell is also cornerback 2, whereas Sherman was cornerback 1 in his defense. But they both play their respected side of the field. They both prefer off coverage. They are both click and close corners with physical upside. They're both high IQ football players. I just think his rookie year, Quinyon guessed wrong on a few plays that he could have guessed right.
Later, though, like for the most part, I mean, through what?
Nobody was really
14 games almost.
Well, he throughout the entire
Carolina
season, there's a lot of reps where he got beat, but got the benefit of the doubt of a drop pass or a bad route or something. But when he gets beat, he guesses the wrong route. He's like, what I'm trying to say is when he And Richard and him have already been in contact. They've talked on social media and stuff. So I'm sure Quinyon's getting some really good guidance with Slay and Richard Sherman and all that. But I just don't see him as he's not a – not don't see. He is not a press man shutdown corner. That is not what Quinyon Mitchell is. But he is an elite he's an elite corner in this defense, which, that could be a 10, 12-year career.
So he doesn't – I get what you're saying, and I just want to help people remember, like, elite corners who didn't play press. And
Asante didn't really press.
Asante Samuel. I was going to say that.
It was more of a size thing. Quinyon has the size.
But they're not. Yeah, it's the wrong comparison. But how they play, somewhat similar. But
he's an Asante Sherman hybrid, and that's the best way I can put it to anybody. Is he's built like Richard Sherman, but he plays like Asante.
Is he really that? Is he big like Sherman is? Like Sherman was a big corner.
6'3".
Wow, Quinyon 6'3". Mitchell's 6'3".
Gotta be. He's over 6 foot. I mean,
I know he's 6 foot.
6'1", 220. So I mean, he's
Damn,
built
sound like a safety.
I mean, he's in a modern day football. Yeah, he's built. He's built pretty. He's pretty big.
Marcus Peters, Chief Days.
He's about 6 foot, 200 and some change. They're listing him at 6 foot, 195.
Yeah, I still feel like you guys are right. I don't see Peters. I don't see Rich. I don't see. He plays off like Samuel, but Samuel was such a great ball hawk. His instincts were probably.
Quinyon has been in the right place at the right time. He's just guessing wrong. That's what I'm saying. He's going to produce picks. He's going to be the type of guy to go 1 year and he'll get 7, and the next year he gets none.
Yeah, but he don't give up shit either.
That's the thing. He's not going to, he's not Trayvon Diggs.
Shit.
Don't let me mistake you by saying he's Trayvon Diggs. He is not Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs is a former receiver turned corner. He bites on big plays to make big plays. He sacrifices big plays to make big plays. Quinyon is just simply guessing wrong due to lack of experience. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's
he can't be right every time, man. I mean, it's
you can't.
And from what I understand, every single time he's guessing wrong, he's guessing to the coverage. He's just not hitting the secondary route reaction.
Marcus Peters. Yeah, I don't know if he's
Peters was much more physical and
I feel like Peters will fight you at the line.
You have to talk about Sherman. You could bring up Byron Maxwell if you really wanted to during those days in Seattle. That's
Maxwell seems like a little bit better fix, but the Seattle Maxwell.
Yeah, not
Eagles Maxwell. Yeah, but Maxwell that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I remember when
smooth, fluid. His demeanor fits how he plays. Like his demeanor fits how he plays.
Is like his floor, and that's because that's his physical. Cam Taylor-Britt's a little bit more man-to-man than he is.
Yeah.
The fans have to understand Quinyon did not play press man at college at any point because he was the best athlete on the field playing at Toledo University. He did turn down $2 million to go to Alabama and play corner in order to stay with Toledo and be with his boys.
And we'll get to it, but I keep going, Rams. Keep going, Rams. Touchdown, LA.
I'm on to the link, baby.
You know what? And I didn't even I was done betting this week. Just put a little small bets in there. I was really big, and we'll get to more positives about the Eagles game, but I was really big on Saquon getting over 20 rushing attempts. I thought it was way too low. But Don just called it, we're a little bit behind, but fumble touchdown by the Rams. I should have known that there's no way LA loses this game with everything going in LA with the fires.
It's not even that. It says there's no way Sam Darnold wins a big playoff game.
That, I mean, from the football side, I'm talking from the emotional, like, juju in the air. LA is burning. There's no way the LA Rams lose this game because of what's going on in Cali right now. Any chance, speaking of this game live, any chance they go to JJ? Any way in the world they pull JJ?
He's still out though.
Oh, he's still out. Who's the backup? Who's the backup quarterback for them then?
Not Nick Mullins.
Because JJ just had a meniscus. He's got to be right. You tear your meniscus.
No, they shut him down for the year. I think he was IFR, NDFR, which means not designated for return.
Who's their backup? Oh, is it Nick? Is it Mullins? Oh, that's
Nick
terrible.
Mullins? Is that who it is?
It's Nick Mullins. He
Nick
played
Mullins
in the. He played in the final. He played in the final game. Did he play in the final?
Yeah,
game?
Nick Mullins. And Daniel Jones is the third stringer.
Wow.
You don't know Danny Dimes, man? Come on.
Oh yeah, that's right, Danny Dimes.
He's emergency though.
I would go with Danny Dimes over Mullins.
You can't. It's the rules though. Mullins would have to get hurt, and then Jones would be the only quarterback available.
I thought it was if you went to the third, you can't go to 2 at all. You just go to the third, and that's it.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, well, if you wanted to fuck yourself like that, yeah. But I mean, the rule is that he can't. Once he's in the game, he's the last one. Like,
yeah.
The punter or running back is throwing the ball. Yeah, Vanilla Vic, Don. White Michael Vick, aka Vanilla Vic, was the proper nickname, donned by, and specifically donned by Saquon Barkley.
So, great segue. Saquon, another positive of the game. Team first guy.
No mas.
How do you feel about him sliding at the end?
They call it no mas.
Yeah.
And Sirianni called no mas for all the people that want to say he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
He called the dogs off, which was no mas, which means first down and down. And Saquon Barkley did his job. Devontae Smith was not happy about it. AJ Brown
not happy about it.
But listen, wide receivers are wide receivers. And our running back is our running back. He gets paid half of what they get paid.
Devontae was
Devontae said, Devontae
bring your ass here. Come here.
He hit it with the grandma. He said, this motherfucker tripping. He said,
motherfucker, what you doing?
He said, come here.
Come here. Hey, motherfucker, what you doing? Hey, you should run your ass home.
That's the funny thing.
You know, this his country ass.
People don't realize Devontae is the loudest one on the sideline during the game. He's so quiet, but he is the
in the locker room.
Devontae runs his mouth. Smitty talks his ass off.
I got a boy just like him. He just seemed like he's cool by himself. He only talk just a little bit, but in the locker room, motherfucker won't shut up.
He won't, dude. Smitty's playing music. He's got a choice about you. He's got a opinion about your music. Like, Smitty's an awesome dude. So I'm all for it, man. I will say though, you think Saquon had a little nerves going into that game? Because he looked a little extra amped. He looked a little, and even the play where he slid, he kind of looked up like, did I do the right job? And it's like, yes, motherfucker, you did the right job. Good
question, because I think that was his first playoff win, right? That's his first playoff win.
I believe so, yeah.
His first playoff
it's his first home playoff game. I know that for a fact. No, it's not his first playoff win because they won the wild card to play the Eagles in the divisional in 2022.
Okay, yeah.
First home playoff win.
His home playoff win. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he had nerves. I don't know why he wouldn't. I think it's good to have nerves too.
I think that Saquon is the humble goat amongst the pack. You know what I mean? Like, he's the one that has done all this, and yet he keeps looking at AJ, Devontae, and all the other guys going, we ain't done shit. Like, I realize you guys have been to a Super Bowl. I haven't. I don't know what that's like. I realize you're over that loss. I don't know what that's like. Like, let me feel my own pain kind of thing. I think Barkley is as big for this team on the field as he is off the field.
Yeah, no, I do. I agree. And I hope they find a way to keep him an Eagle forever. I really do.
Contractually, right now, he's here for this year and next year, and he's not going anywhere after that. So,
yeah. Are they contractually? Could they rework his deal and extend him at the same time, or he's got to do another year?
They could redo some things. That would be more old Eagles, like immediately post 2017 Super Bowl would be to enhance his contract if they were to do something. But it's more kind of on a this year, next year kind of thing with a lot of heavy incentives for like Pro Bowl, All Pro, and all that. He doesn't have any touchdown incentives in his contract. So they would redo that at the end of this deal. So it would be next offseason they would get into some Saquon stuff. The Eagles' way to do it would be next year before the end of the season they would have another extension done.
Right.
Done. Or before next year they might have something done.
And I think I can't wait to get into the off season with you, not looking ahead, right? We hope we don't talk about off season until March, May, or whatever.
It does hit you pretty quickly.
It does hit you quick, especially when your team gets a deep run. But talking about, with the free agents that they have, Bond, Williams, I think are the two key back then.
Becton's a big one.
Yeah, are the three big ones.
Gainwell, Dean. You have a couple more. Jordan.
Yeah, I think Gainwell is gone. But the way it kind of works out, it's like, especially with Dean being hurt, like you got to pay. Like at this point, you got to pay Bond. Like you just have to.
Not to nerd out, but just to give a little bit of hindsight so that it's out there in the airwaves. As soon as Dean got hurt, that was my initial thought. Was
they got to pay Bond? I thought the same thing. Yeah,
Zach Bond's prices went up. Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s future just got. How do I put? Like they've got a lot more weight into that now.
Yeah.
Because he's the only guy that's under contract moving forward. Him and Ben Van Sumeren, who's coming off a torn ACL. So just to kind of give us like that information out there. I mean, Dean getting hurt is. I don't want to say it like this, but it's not financially the worst thing for the Eagles, but it forces their hand at a position that they had choices with if he was healthy going into the offseason.
Yeah, outside of Trotter, I don't remember ever them paying top money for a linebacker, like ever.
And they've also been known to not want to reward someone off of one season. Alshon Jeffrey's contract fucked us on that pretty bad. So they've got a lot of interesting things happening at inside linebacker. As soon as Eagles fans thought that we had some sort of stability there, it was ripped away from us.
Yeah, true. Speaking of contracts, go ahead, give you a shot. I mean, I think Purdy's going to get more than love, but what's your thoughts, Erine B? What Don asked?
I think as of right now, the 49ers' main goal is to retain Brock Purdy. And as the QB market goes, whether you like it or not, the next guy is going to get more than the best guy. So that's just kind of the way it is. Purdy's going to get a lot of money from who? I'm going to guess San Francisco.
They pay him. They pay him more. He took him to a Super Bowl. Love didn't. So he'll get more.
Yeah, I mean, Love makes more than Jalen Hurts. So put that in perspective.
On that merit, he will. Because who do you go? Like if you let Purdy walk, who walks in? What's the next?
In the scenario that they would let Purdy walk, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch probably wouldn't be there either. So and that's not happening.
Yeah, this game looks like this game is so one-sided. Rams. All I see, Don is Rams. There's nothing going right for the Vikings. Just a carryover to what they have. So. We talked about so much positivity for the Eagles. We talked about Nolan Smith. We talked about Dean. We talked about Carter. We talked about Williams. We talked about the back end with Mitchell and even Slay. Talked about Hurts and when he kind of stepped up for Saquon. We talked about Saquon Barkley. Anything else before we kind of wrap it up with the rest of the playoffs? Positive things from the Eagles that you kind of saw that you like to see. I think Don got a good one here. Didn't even think about it. But the play of the game.
Dallas Goedert stiff arm was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the just not something so mainstream, but the Reed Blankenship hit on Jaden Reed. And I'm not trying to highlight injuries. That's not at all what I'm trying to do. But when you hit a guy with a clean hit and knock a player out of the game, it's unfortunately that's not bounty gate. That's not anything. That's clean football. And Nolan Smith and Reed Blankenship just outmanned their defenders in front of them yesterday, and I think that's the definition of physical football.
I would agree. I definitely would agree. So with right now, as you guys can see, Rams are up 17-3. Looks like Puka might have got hurt grabbing his knee. We'll see the update with that. Looks like Rams are driving. 1 minute left in the second quarter. Looks like they might score again. I'm not sure who got the ball first in the game. Let's see. I would have to go to plays and see, but not sure who got the ball first. But it looks like, Rams all the way so far. Out of the games that you saw, anybody really kind of you felt like, like any games that maybe surprised you, statement, anything that you were kind of like, oh, this is a team to kind of be worried about. I mean, the biggest game next week is going to be that Ravens Bills game. Like
I was about to say that's about all.
Must TV.
That's about all I'm worried about next weekend outside of the Eagles is going to be the Bills Ravens game. Josh Allen, I've been on record saying this. He's the most talented quarterback in football. Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, is the most dynamic player in football. Those are going to be an awesome matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Good coaching going there. Good battle in the trenches. I mean, that's kind of a tape watcher's dream with those two going at it. As far as the Rams go, I mean, I'm not trying to be blunt, but bring it the fuck on. I mean, if you think you're going to go push, you can push Minnesota around like this. It's not going to happen in Philly.
I was about to say, who do you like? Let's go there. Who do you want?
I mean, either of these teams, it is food on the table. They're Minnesota with Darnold, we'd make them see ghosts. Stafford worries me. They're feisty. They just don't have the offensive line play to keep up. They don't have the trenches to keep up. Braden Fisk and Jared Verse are dominant, but they're just undersized. And we have a massive offensive line. Currently is the largest offensive line in the NFL. At the beginning of the year, the Bengals had a bigger offensive line on paper. It just comes down to it. If Jalen Hurts can play like he did against the Pittsburgh Steelers, right before he got hurt, like he did at the beginning of the game with the Commanders, I think I think we're going special places. Special places don't mean a ring. Special places mean getting to the ability to win a ring. But I mean, you got 2 games left, 3 games if you want to win it all. The Rams, yeah. So it's
looking like it's going to be LA. And to be honest, I really didn't want to see the Vikings. I mean, I didn't know Sam was going to have this type of performance. I thought he might bounce back a little bit. I'm not saying he's going to be 5 touchdowns Sam Bradford that we saw a couple games ago, but I thought he would bounce back a little bit with this game. And I never even put 2 and 2 together with the fires in LA and just everything emotionally for LA.
Well, Kevin O'Connell also is gotten a lot more love than I think he deserved. Coach of the Year candidate for sure, but I just don't see a guy that is, you got the best out of Darnold, for now, but when it came down to it, he turned back into what he was,
Well, I mean, he's getting cooked by who I still think is a top 10 quarterback, and then, I mean, the coaching, right? The coaching on that side.
That's offense, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, they're getting worked on defense, and that's coming from a team full of a bunch of rookies. And I think that, I think Brian Flores would have been a big pain in the fucking ass.
That's that's why I like.
That's not it with Rams. The only man I'm scared of on that team is Brian Flores.
Yeah, that's why, because he does a lot of blitzing, and I think that with Jalen, he does have seen in the past the struggle a little bit with having.
I don't know what it is, but Todd Bowles and Brian Flores know how to exploit that motherfucker sometimes.
Yeah. No,
now Hurts had some big games against Brian Flores defenses, but I think this year is the one I didn't want to test.
Yeah, exactly. And with the Rams being on a short week, right, on Monday, and then have to fly from LA to us, you know what I mean? Like,
put it to you like this: the Rams have 6 sacks in the first half. Aaron Donald had 6 postseason sacks in his career.
Yeah,
this is just different. It's just one of those games, man. Sometimes it happens for people. It clicks.
Yeah.
The Rams are clicking on all cylinders right now. It's not going to happen in Philly.
It's not going to happen in Philly. Yeah. No, it's not going to happen in Philly.
Brian Flores can get cooked right now, but he's still one of my worst nightmares. That dude is nightmare fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd absolutely like the Eagles. The way it's looking as the Rams will be traveling to us. That line should probably be open at probably -3.5, almost -4. It'll probably get
It'll
better.
probably open at minus, yeah, because they're going to want it to come up to about 5-6, and then they're
It'll
going to
it
want to
won't get to
hammer that
6,
down.
but it'll open up at least at minus, like, because they're on a short week, right? It's Monday. I mean, Puka said he was grabbing his knee, but I think it updated that he had a pass, so he's okay. But it's Monday. If you think
Puka's got a
about it,
knee injury. I'm
their
sure he.
their travel
I'm sure he's
day
grabbing his
would
knee.
be what? Probably Saturday, maybe. You know what I mean?
Friday.
Because today's Monday. You come in for treatment tomorrow. Wednesday is prep and stuff. Thursday and
Walkthrough would usually be.
Thursday might be, and Thursday and Friday are your walkthroughs, and then Saturday is your travel day, and then and then you got game day because we're playing Sunday at 4:30 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 3:00 I think is what it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a weird. It's like 3. Yeah, it's a weird time, right?
Yeah,
It's a different time. It's like 2 or
different time.
3. Yeah. So bring on the Rams. You know what I mean? Bring on the Rams. And Don, we will see you soon.
Oh, it's coming.
We will see you soon.
And all I gotta say, Don, just act like you've been there before, man.
We will see you soon, Don.
We've been there once and have a little bit more decency.
Yeah, we will see you soon in Detroit, man. So I think we did an amazing job with debunking any type of negativity.
Positivity. Just get my little hands going there. Positivity.
Anything that has been going out there with Eagles football, because it is so crazy. These fan analysts who got their things with tape and the 2020 or whatever it's all 22, whatever it is. And we have so many analysts out there saying this and that and this route and this and that. And I find it so interesting because it's not an art, but it is a skill to watch film. It's just not, you can't just watch film and just pick it up and just put a post up and just think like you're talking, because that's what everybody else is saying. Like, you have to understand football to understand what you're watching. You have to understand, like, you could say this person missed the ball, Jalen missed him, but you don't know if that receiver had the right release. Did he lead with the right leg? Was this where was he from the hatch? Like, there's
the best
all
answer ever. I could be the best tape watcher of all time. I don't know what fucking play was called, bud.
Yeah, right.
You don't know.
You don't.
You don't know what the player was told to do. Yeah. Greg Cosell says it himself the best. I can evaluate every single player on this football field, but I still don't know what they were told to do. Exactly. The game can only be played so many ways. So you can evaluate within that circle, but still you don't know what they were told to do.
So with that being said, I mean, not knocking you guys, you know what I mean? Keep doing your thing. You know what I mean? The content and stuff is out there. But in the playoffs, that's all we need is them dubs. That's all we need is them dubs. I don't care what it look like.
I'll eat them like Jameis Winston if I have to. We got to eat them dubs.
We ain't saying 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
No.
We're talking 1, 2, 3 bring on the Rams. That's where we're at right now. We just
what did Aaron Donald say? Aaron Donald said, "Ring me,
ring me,
ring me,
ring me." That's all that matters at the end of the day. So you guys
can rebuild for 3 years after this.
You guys can talk about the style points. You could talk about the yards. You could talk about what it looked like.
That's a great one. Pass attempts.
Shout out to AJ Brown. Shout out to
Give me that book.
Shout out to the guy who's now a #1 bestseller in the Inner Excellence.
Thanks to this city right here.
Right. Jim Murphy. You know what I mean? Shout out to that guy. You should be giving AJ Brown a check. You were like on 552,000 list. And now you went to #1 bestseller because of AJ Brown.
This city right here, dog.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's different.
This
it's a little different.
I hate to tell you, it's a little different over here.
We moved a little different.
Just a little bit. So I need us who wear these colors proudly to just be happy with the win. Like, I even heard talk about people bitching about why did Gilly run out with the team. It got us the win. That's all that matters. It was a win. It was a dub.
There's no talk about Gilly in this house. Because if you know, you know. That's Unk, man. That's a team up. You need him, man. You need him.
And I like how we finish that. If you know, you know. And now you know.
And look, no one likes us. We don't care, man. This is team issued. The team made this. I did not make this. Like, this is for sale, dog. Swoosh it all. We good. Like,
this is Moss Money. That's Ernie B, man. Like he said, if you know, you know. We good. If you don't like us, we don't give a fuck. We're out of here, man. Go Birds. We'll see those Rams. For Moss Money, that's Ernie B. I'm out of here.
Come to the link, man. We'll see you in